What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Catacombs. So you see the thumbnail. We're talking about marriage today, and this is a big conversation with today's men and modern women. Like the statistics are out there. The numbers don't lie. The behaviors of women haven't lied. Behaviors of men haven't lied. So where we're going with this is marriage rates are going down. Those are the numbers. 80% of all marriages are initiated by women. This is true. No fault divorce allows them to do that. They can come up to you and say, hey, I'm not really feeling this no more. I'm unhappy. Irreconcilable differences. Whatever the hell they decide to come up with. And it has been determined that for men, there's really no incentive or benefit to get married. Now I know that's one of the things that the late great Kevin Samuels spoke up on about marriage. A lot of the women that called into his show, he asked them about marriage, and they all said, "Yeah, I would like to be married," and all this other nonsense. They all said they wanted to be married, but none of them are actually wives. And that's the main reason why men aren't getting married today. There are no wives in the Western world. There are jump offs, there are side chicks, there are women you have sex with, there are people you have flings with and situationships with, but actual wives, those are few and far between in Western society, and even more so in black society, especially that the American black person, the American black woman doesn't see a lot of value in marriage unless she's getting a financial benefit, which let's be real. Marriage is a business transaction. And it's always been the case that, if you're going to become married as a man, you got to have some resources, you got to have some money, you got to have something going on. But today with these modern expectations, man, a lot of these women are saying you got to make the expectations are very unrealistic when it comes to these women. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of men are going overseas and whatnot, getting their passports and going overseas to get a woman or get a wife. It's just you get more bang for your buck. It really is that simple. And it's the craziest thing too. A lot of these women over here get mad, say they only want you for your money. That's why you going over there. They only want you for your money. Well, the same range true here. You only want men for their money, especially when it comes to black men. I can't really speak on white women. I do see in the white manosphere that they're having very similar issues. They have their gripes and things like that. But since I'm part of the black community, I gotta talk about that because that's what I see and that's what I've experienced. Okay, black woman. Most of y'all only look at us as wallets anyway. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my automobiles? All of that, Beyonce, Destiny's Child shit. Like, this is how y'all think. Okay, and it's the reason why the salary requirements for a lot of black women for black men is $100,000 plus. And not a lot of black men make that amount of money, but a lot of black men make under $100K and over $60K. Now, I don't understand why is it that a lot of black women don't get it. If you're coming in the building, let's say you're making 55, 60, and your man is making around the same. Now y'all have $100 and something thousand coming in. Instead of y'all paying bills in two separate places, y'all come together, combine y'all salaries. Now all of your bills quite literally get cut in half by working with each other. Now you really do have more money to break up and more money to play with. And I don't understand why this is so lost when it comes to black women. That's another reason why people aren't getting married right now. That type of expectation, that salary expectation, is like, it's not attainable for a lot of people. Making $100,000 is hard. It depends on what field you're in. It just depends on what you're doing, how many hours a week you're working, and all that jazz. But making $100,000 plus for multiple years is not an easy thing. And a lot of these women are making it sound like it's easy. They got the whole Instagram lifestyle on their phones, and they're saying, well, I want that. So the man coming in my life, he has to be able to provide that. And I'm like, the Instagram isn't real. Yeah, you can take trips, but do you need to take a trip every 3 weeks? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And these are the expectations that are keeping men, not even just out of marriage, but out of relationships regardless. You understand? So, it is the strangest thing. Like, there is no other incentive. There used to be a point in time when if you were to get married, you had access to sex. You're able to build a family, children, a legacy, and things like that. As a man, they looked at you as an authority figure. You had respect in your household. You had respect because you were a working man. You got up every day. You went out to work and you got it. You brought home the bacon or whatever have you. And your woman respected you. Your children respected you. There is no respect right now. There's no respect even prior to getting married. Black women don't respect men. Black men especially. I just saw a post on my Instagram where a black woman was saying all these black men are bitch made. And I'm like, well, who the fuck is raising them? Let's start there. It's the chicken or the egg type of thing. You can't have a man if he's being raised by a single mother who hates men or is bitter towards men or just doesn't like men. You can't be mad that these boys are growing up in feminine wrapped energy and feminine energy wrapped households. And then you expect them to be all dominant and be all, no, they'll be emotional. They'll be emotional and they'll be, physically imposing because, you can't stop biology when it comes to that, when it comes to men. But their whole mindset is going to be screwed up. And yeah, they acting like bitches because they were raised by bitches and bitches only. I don't like to use that word, but that's the word that a lot of these black women are using to describe black men. Then y'all all bitch made. Well, who's raising them? And then they'll say, well, the father wasn't there. Well, why wasn't he there? Was his mother pushing him away? Or was he just an irresponsible man that just, you shouldn't have been having sex with him in the first fucking place? You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So there's no incentive. A lot of these women don't respect the men. A lot of these men are weak. We gotta admit that. I'm not gonna sit here and absolve men from all of it. Men are weak, but the reason why they're weak is plain and simple. Like, most of these guys are growing up in single mother households, and a lot of these women don't have a lot of discipline with themselves. Now, I will say this: the women of the past, like the baby boomer generation, had a little bit more discipline with them. So the men that grew up in those single mother households were a little bit better off. My dad grew up like that. Uncles grew up like that. But those women were different women. They were very different. They weren't Generation X women. You understand? They're not millennial women. They just progressively got worse. But the baby boomer generation still had a bit of the silent generation in them that was like, okay, we we're gonna get married, even though marriage was happening less and less. But they had a little bit more discipline. Those men and women back then. Generation X said, oh yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do things differently. Millennials just said, fuck it, and I don't know what the hell this next generation is doing. What do they call them? Z? I don't know. So marriage it's not worth the squeeze. There are no wives here. There's no incentive for men. There's every incentive for a woman. She can literally get married and take a significant portion of a man's resources just by being married to him for 3 years or so, maybe 4. I don't know. She could take a bunch of your wealth that you spent the last 15 to 18 years or whatever have you building, get married to her for 3 or 4 years, and she can take 10 years worth of your resources. That's insanity. So women are incentivized to initiate the divorce because she's going to get paid to do it. And God forbid you have kids, she's going to get paid to leave the marriage. She's going to be paid because you had children with her. And she might go for alimony as well, depending on how the situation was. If she didn't work, oh yeah, you're screwed. If she did work and if she's making $50,000, you was making $200,000, you're screwed. You're going to be paying alimony. You know what I'm saying? So she has an incentive to leave the damn marriage, and men have an incentive to stay because he doesn't want to lose all his shit. But increasingly, men are starting to see there's no incentive on getting married in the first place. So that's going to happen less and less. But anyway, this video is going on far too long. I kind of went off on a rant a little bit, but I just wanted to get that off my chest real quick. And I think I'm going to leave it there. Until the next one, y'all be easy.